Mac and Saul had a very interesting conversation on Podcast and Chill alongside with Ghost Lady, of course. And they were reflecting on the recent passing of Sahara. This opened a conversation of where is your legacy? It's a very interesting conversation that they had, and I wanted to react to it alongside with you guys. If this is the first time you tune into this channel, please like and subscribe, follow the content that we're doing here. So yeah, let's get into it.
Bro, you work hard, right?
I work okay, Mac.
Where's your legacy? God forbid. When you pass away, everything that you've worked hard for, where's it going?
My daughter. If anything that I have in my name is going to my daughter, bro.
But then your daughter's gonna get married one day.
Yeah.
So then where does it go?
All right, I'm dead, bro.
Shout out to Saul. I think the issue of legacy often opens a door to answering this question. What is the purpose of life? Why are we here? What are we all working towards? This is a question that I think most of us often are confronted with now and then. To say all of the things that I'm doing, the hard work that I'm putting in, my 9 to 5, me waking up in the morning, having a business, all the things I'm accumulating, working hard to achieve. When it's all said and done, where is it going? So Mac is starting with a very important question for Saul to answer. I think it's a very hard question as well, but it's a helpful one because it affords you to actually reflect on life, take a pause, go back, change lenses a bit, and just look at everything around you and actually see what is it that I'm working towards, and when I'm gone, what will be the purpose of it all.
I'm dead, man. No, honestly, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Saul is
I
not-
see where this conversation's
Yeah,
going.
no,
I'm gonna say the
yeah.
sign.
You have a
and,
sign,
hey,
so it
man,
goes-
Nah, man, I'm dead, bro.
Yeah.
No, not even. I'm not pushing that narrative.
Maybe, God forbid, before I die, there's a school that I've built. There's my name on a wall somewhere, you know, on a clinic somewhere, and that's gonna be my memory for everybody to witness that I'm dead. You know, but as long as my daughter is fine, she's taken care of, her way in life is gonna be easier than mine's. I'm happy. That's my legacy.
But even with the son, because you could work hard like
Yep.
you do, right? Have a son, and then the son gets married, right? And then when he passes away, everything that you worked for and transferred to him now goes to the wife.
Rightfully so.
But that's what I'm saying. We're like, it's crazy, right?
It's crazy, yeah, but don't think about that stuff. We're gonna be different.
Yeah.
We're gonna be dead, but as I've said, this opens a very interesting conversation, and I want us to look at a scripture that's going to help us reflect on this a bit more. Joshua chapter 4 from verse 6 to verse 7. And this is God speaking to the children of Israel. Joshua is leading the Israelites now, and they're about to enter the promised land, and they're about to cross the river Jordan. And God gives them an instruction. Let me start it from verse 4. So Joshua called together the 12 men he had chosen, one from each of the tribes of Israel. He told them, "Go into the middle of the Jordan in front of the ark of the Lord your God. Each of you must pick up one stone and carry it out on your shoulder, 12 stones in all, one for each of the 12 tribes of Israel. We will use these stones to build a memorial. In the future, your children will ask you, 'What do these stones mean?' Then you can tell them, 'They remind us that the Jordan River stopped flowing when the Ark of the Lord's covenant went across. These stones will stand as a memorial among the people of Israel forever.'" Now, this paints a picture. God says, look, you guys are going to cross, but put a memorial for your descendants to remember that I, the Lord your God, was with you when you entered the promised land. That despite all the wealth that we can accumulate, despite of the amazing things we can give our kids in terms of monetary value, the best thing we can live in this world as a mark, as a form of remembrance, is the fact that we lived out lives that resembled God's faithfulness and grace, and that the hope is that those who come after us also will be beneficiaries of lives that were well lived, whether these are kids or people who just become familiar with how we lived our life. The best thing we can live in this world is a mark for Jesus. It's to influence people to become more closer and closer to God. And it says this to Joshua and his generation to say, when it's all said and done, leave a mark that's going to remind them of my faithfulness towards your generation. And I would also implore you that when it's all said and done, it's better for you to leave a mark that's going to remind people of God's faithfulness concerning your life and concerning your family and concerning your generation. That's the best thing I can leave my kids with. It's not actually money, although that's the goal. Hopefully they can use it rightfully so, and they can be able to support themselves and hopefully venture into businesses and use it responsibly. That's the hope. But the most beneficial thing I can ever leave my kids with is that I leave them with principles, and I leave them with a memorial of God's faithfulness towards me, their father. That the best thing I can leave my generation with, and the generation that comes after me, is that this man lived out a life that was in line with God's attributes, commandments, and statutes. And this man impacted his generation for the glory of Jesus. That's the best thing we can live as a mark in this world, because the Bible often tells us that you can work hard as a parent and you can leave your inheritance with your children. But guess what? There's no guarantee that they will use that inheritance responsibly. So money comes and goes, but what will keep them and remain is the memorial and the principles that you would have instilled in them. That a life can be lived well if it's lived out for God. That it is possible to be young and live for God. It's possible to be in this generation, in this world, where you accumulate wealth, but also where you have made God the center of it all. So I think when we try to answer this question of what is the purpose of life, the purpose of life is to ensure that we impact our generation and then we live lives that resemble God's nature and faithfulness. So I think McG is touching on a very interesting question here.